Welcome to the Pearls of Wisdom podcast, brought to you by Southern Jewelry News and Jewelry Store Marketers. Hello, everyone. This is Guy with Jewelry Store Marketers, and we are here at the Atlanta Jewelry Show, March 2023, and I'm here with Chuck Kaler from Anthony Jewelers.
And Southern Jewelry News and Mid-America Jewelry News.
And my partners in crime at Southern Jewelry News, perfect. And we have a special guest.
Yes.
One that a lot of people in the industry know, and for many good reasons. Okay?
And she blends in a crowd real well. She's, you wouldn't even spot her if you weren't looking for her.
Be your own booth. That's what I tell people. Be your own booth.
She brings it all. We have Aleah Arundale. Okay, perfect.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Arundale.
Arundale.
It's kind of like the princess, like Frozen. Mm-hmm. Like they're from there. It's
well,
cool.
now we're going to get into the JHJ and the crime network stuff, but outside of all of that, you do have a real job. Let's tell everybody what your real job is.
I sell diamonds, the real kind. Not the microwave ones, and you make in a factory. Like the ones you dig up.
Yeah.
So, my father was a jeweler and his father was a jeweler, was born, and they said, it's a jeweler. So 5th generation jeweler. And I went into the retail business, but it was slow for me. I'm fast. I need the fast pace. So my dad said, why don't you try wholesale for a little bit? I went to Chicago, tried diamond wholesale, and I just never left. I loved the, traveling around the country and the fast paced sales. And it was very hard for me to go back into a store and, show Pandora beads for an hour and a half or, also, actually, they sent me to GIA. And when I got back from GIA, I was so technical that I couldn't sell anything because they didn't tell me any technical stuff. I just learned, I was like, do you know how much beryllium is in an emerald? And no little lady buying an emerald gives a damn.
Beryllium aluminum silicate, if I recall. BE3ALBE.
Yeah, no one, that's not why anyone buys one.
Yeah,
whatever
exactly.
it is, I promise.
But I know it's beryllium aluminum silicate.
I was doing the same darn thing, and they said, why don't you just go try something else for a little bit? So,
but now, as part of your day job, you work for?
Olympian Diamonds.
Now, I've bought many diamonds from you through the years, and one thing I like, y'all have a very generous memo program, and because everybody knows when you sell a diamond that the customer doesn't just go, okay, that's it, I'll take it. There's a whole lot of, I don't know, let me think about it. Well, hang on, I'm going on vacation. And it's kind of nice to have an open-ended memo. And, what I'll always try to do is if I've got 5 stones, I'll try to narrow it down to 2 and get the others back to you as quick as I can. But it's always real nice that there's no pressure on the other end of the memo if the sale is still active. So that's one thing I have to say with Olympia.
That means a lot, Chuck. Thank you for saying that. My growing up in a retail jeweler is really what made it different. So a lot of diamond wholesalers, they didn't spend time when they were, 15 years old behind the counter selling pearls and, behind it. And so that retail background made me like, what do jewelers need? They want memo, they want flexible terms. And so I think, and that's what allowed me to start the Facebook group, Jewelers Helping Jewelers, is because I know jewelers, I grew up in retail. And that's the difference.
Because that's kind of been a phenomena in our industry. It's I don't know if it was the first, but I know it's the first one that took off and just exploded. So you're sitting at your house one day and like, how did this start?
Well, I used to, when let's say I wanted a Rolex, right? I had like a block of emails from like Rolex people, and I would copy and paste Rolex. Like, I don't know what you used to do, but like, before calling everybody, instead of making 7 calls, I would, like when I wanted an estate piece, someone was like, I'm looking for an antique this. I had like 20 antique emails and I'd copy and paste it, but we needed something in real time. So I just, and I'm on a lot of moms Facebook groups. My friend's a nurse. She's on a nurse Facebook group. I mean, there's cancer Facebook groups, a lot of support groups, neighborhood watch, so it wasn't new, like a group wasn't new to me.
Yeah.
There just wasn't anything in our industry that was made for everybody. It wasn't, I love AGS and I love IJO and stuff like that, but they're each their own thing. There needed to be something for everybody.
Well, how big has it grown now?
Well, it's 27,500.
All right, how much farther can it go? How big is our industry?
I also am shocked. I can't believe that every day there's somebody that still hasn't heard of it, and it blows my mind. But, new young people enter the business, or there's people that are just, maybe they're Instagram only jewelers. And I used to not think that was real, and I was so brick and mortar and stuff. But, the pandemic changed a lot of things, and we just realized that there's a lot of different ways to do business. And my 3 biggest selling customers are women that sell out of their house or out of a side office in their house or, out of a Walmart parking lot, for Pete's sake, and they're doing more than these stores, and they're legitimate. They have a tax ID. There's nothing where and I would have been against them a long time. Oh, they're undercutting the brick and mortar, but it's just things have changed. The way we shop has changed a little bit. So I do let these people on, and maybe that's where the numbers are,
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because I know that you've been very good about vetting people that that you've got to be really in the jewelry business, a professional in the jewelry business to get into the group. And if you're not, they get removed from the group.
Yeah. Right.
And so that's one of the things I always liked about JHJ was the fact that you can actually ask questions you couldn't ask in more of an open format. And, stuff with, appraisal questions and stuff. Hey, I've got a 1.01 BS2 G color and it's got something, what's the wholesale on it? And people will tell you. And, then you'll get people say something like, well, you should do your research. And I'm like, what? Why isn't this research? I guess that's probably the craziest thing for me. If you go to a group like JHJ and you ask a collective group of experts and knowledgeable people in the field, and you get the same answer back 5 or 6 times on the subject, that's as good a research as you're going to get, in my opinion. And that's one of the things I really like about JHJ is that it's a vetted group of industry professionals. But you then decided, that's not enough in my world. I want to do something bigger and better. So what did you just do?
It wasn't me who did it. It was the criminals. They forced us to do something. November 1st, all of a sudden, all these posts, I just got hit. Watch out, there's these distraction things. This one jeweler, he calls me, he goes, I was in the front with a woman, and this woman crawled, they distracted everyone, crawled into the back, took $120,000 out of the safe in 5 minutes. They're magicians. You go to a magic show, right? The sleight of hand is unbelievable. You can have a diamond ring in your hand and you look down and it's not in your hand. They're just really been trained since birth to steal. It's incredible. They're artists.
Did I see something where they use fake finger?
Oh,
right. They have a fake finger. How do they use it? It's just amazing.
It is unbelievable. All I can use is the word magic because I think people they realize if you've been to a magic show, they're not really wizards. They didn't really make it disappear. But with mirrors or with this and with practice and sleight of hand is absolutely incredible. The things they can do. And so the hits were off the charts. There's been jewelry crimes, but it wasn't like this. And so I said, we got to do something. So I called everybody I knew. I called Jewelers Mutual. I called, every security person. I called cops, everyone I knew. And I said, if we could do anything, what could we do? If even, should every jewelry store get smash-proof glass? Should everybody get, gates that pull down? What should every door at place get an alarm system? And nobody really had anything except Dutchy Marin, who does mostly cybersecurity. But he said, if you could instantly alert your 5 closest neighbors, that would be something. He said it's like throwing up a flare. Okay, he said if you could text it, because right now there's the Jewelry Security Alliance is amazing. They are wonderful. They post pictures, they do stuff, but it's an email once a week.
Yeah.
Okay, and so it's not the same as this guy just left my store an hour ago. Look out for these
he's in this neighborhood.
He's right around here. So the thing is, Anish has a text platform.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, it's called Text Me Chat. So you can text customers. So he already, and we're great buddies. So I said, Anish, you already have a program to text. We just need to text jewelers. How hard would it be to do to change your platform to a security chat? And he goes, give me 30 days. Okay, just to tell you that, I talked to Jewelers Mutual. It took them 2 years to revamp their website, and it doesn't even do shit like that. Anish in 30 days made a working criminal thing. But right now, we just finished the testing this week, where this week it's works great. We did all the tests, and if you go log in and you said this guy, and you can pick by state, and everyone in Texas will know. We are going to narrow it down to zip code when we have more people. Yeah. Right now we have 500-600 people because I only wanted 600 for the initial testing. Yeah. But now that we have it, so Anish really is the real hero in this story, by the way, because he made it for free. It costs, and text messages cost money, and so he's doing it, and I want him to get more credit. I pushed for it, but he's the one that
Well, now, what is the to join this group is how do we find it?
So there's two things. There is a side Facebook group just for crime. What I mostly put up is like kind of in the meantime, or a lot of people still like Facebook. Maybe they don't want to text it up, but maybe they want to talk about what's the best security camera. So we started JHJ Can Facebook group, and in 3 weeks we got 4,000 members. I mean, that's and they're vetted. They're all vetted. But the texting is JHJ Can. It's confusing because we have the text alert system and the Facebook group. They're both called JHJ Can. Easy to find.
But pretty much we're going to hear all about it on JHJ when the whole texting thing goes live, correct?
Yeah, I think tomorrow morning at the show, there's 2 FBI guys talking. We're going to go over and I want a little more. Anyone listening, I would love for you to check out the text system. Before I really push it, I want more feedback.
How do they give you feedback?
So basically go to JHJ Can, sign up. You just sign up by putting in your zip code and your phone number, okay? And then you'll get like a sample text that'll be like, criminal in your area in Florida, here's a picture of them and what they did. And then maybe just text back or text me and say, it was a little hard to input the thing or the picture didn't turn. I don't know, feedback.
Yeah.
But anyway, that would be great. So
it's brand new. It's in the beta testing, but it's going to be great when it's done. But before we wrap up here, just something way back when you and I first met, you had just started JHJ. And we were talking about, because I was letting you know what it was going to be like to all of a sudden be a household word in the industry. So now, was I correct?
I mean, I always dressed a little crazy, so I got some attention. We live in an attention economy. And if you can get people's attention, you can sell them things. You can learn from them. You can talk to them. And so I've always been, how do you get people's attention? And so I do love the attention that Jewelers Helping Jewelers has brought, because people come up to me and say, I started, my father died and I inherited his jewelry store and I knew nothing and I was so alone. And then I joined your group and I wasn't alone anymore. So the thing is, it's not just the publicity, it's not just the notoriety, it's the genuine lives that would change. We helped a guy adopt 2 kids. We helped someone like build a house in India for their mother. We helped like a woman with a bench jeweler with 4 kids open her own store. I mean, so we're really doing great things.
Well, I do work with a lot of like smaller stores. Like I've got 2 or 3 women in Nashville that have their own store, and they're fairly new. Granted, 10 years in it or something like that, but they're running their own stores, making their own lines. And even though I'm a resource for them, almost every conversation we have, it always comes back to I saw on JHJ because I went. So it's amazing the reach that it's gotten, and the people I've been doing this for my entire adult life, so I don't remember not doing it. But it is interesting, the people that are fairly new, that you're only 10 years in, you just don't know everything.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that there's now a place that they can go and ask a question, and once again have this vetted group of professionals. So, but if you had to go back and do it all over again and not do it, would you not do it, or are you glad you did it?
I'm very glad. I always say if I helped one person, I mean, really, like one person, it was all worth it.
Yeah.
Really, all the work it is, because, you make, if I saved, if we catch one bad guy, the whole JHJ Can thing is worth it.
Exactly.
And we have, there was a guy who was going around selling like a fake Rolex. The woman recognized him from JHJ and, or the Crime Network.
Yeah, she saw his picture 30 minutes earlier or something.
Like that. And so she called the cops and they arrested the guy. I mean, so it does work,
Yeah, crazy. Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks for doing that, and thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you. All right, we'll catch you around. We'll catch you on JHJ. Thanks for listening to the Pearls of Wisdom Jewelry Podcast. For more information about the show, please visit southernjewelrynews.com/podcast, brought to you by Southern Jewelry News and Jewelry Store Marketers. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you can catch the next show. See you then.